Welcome to another episode of a Formula podcast. I'm here today with Bo Wimbush Jr. We're here to talk about a journey and interesting about football and life.
Yes, sir.
Bo, welcome on to the show today. How's it going?
I appreciate you having me, Harlan. I can't complain. How you doing?
Going good, bro. Let's start on your football journey, like your high school days, your middle school days. When did you kind of get a feeling that you had the extra talent to make it further than most of the guys on your team?
Honestly, I started playing football at 5 years old. Crazy part about that, I started playing before I even started watching football. You know what I'm saying? So I just know I remember one day I was in the car with my stepdad. We drove down to a field. Next thing you know, I'm in pads and I'm lined up in front of somebody. And then next thing you know, I'm on my back. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just a crazy experience after taking a lick. That was just something that I actually enjoy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I know a lot of kids that shy away from the contact or, just a part of the game, and that keeps people from playing that game. But I actually enjoyed that part. So I don't know, just that feeling and everything that you get from it. Nothing was ever really driven or forced or anything like that, but it was just a part of, our family and stuff. So,
And quote me if I'm wrong here, but you grew up in Georgia, right?
well, I actually played high school ball out in Georgia.
Gotcha.
But again, with with the military background, we've kind of been all over the place. So I was born in Broward County, Florida. Ended up moving to Pensacola, Florida, and then we actually moved up to San Diego after that. Back to Yulee,
Right.
Florida, went to middle school with Yulee with everybody knows Derrick Henry, we call him Shock. So went to middle
Yeah.
school there and then transferred like to the first exit in Georgia South to Camden County High School, and that's kind of like where that journey began.
Very nice.
So all over the place,
Who
man.
like was there anybody notable from high school that you played with, or like one player that you loved playing with in
Oh
high
yeah, for
school?
sure. We were loaded. We were loaded, especially going into my freshman and sophomore year. You got your Bryce Ramseys, your JJ Greens, your Jared Davis, Byron Attaway, so many people. We were loaded.
Very nice.
Ralph
All your
Hardy.
dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Chris Williams. I like it. We were loaded.
Yeah.
We had two DBs committed at Alabama at one point,
Oh
and they
wow.
both decommitted. But like, we had a squad. Only thing about where we were so far south. We didn't get the exposure that like your Atlanta teams get. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
For
yeah, no,
sure.
we were loaded. Oh,
So
yeah.
when you were looking into schools, was it always Carson Newman, or did you have different options?
Um, well, going into my sophomore year, I ended up getting invited to the Under Armour All American camp. Ended up performing out there. Obviously, I could have done much better just looking back at it, but at the same time, it was still good exposure. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So after going to that camp, going into, I want to say we were doing like summer ball stuff right at the high school and everything. And I ended up receiving my first offer from Vanderbilt, and it was my official
Oh,
offer. You get what I'm saying? So full right there. But um, I don't know, either the last year or my senior year, the coach ended up going to Penn State.
yeah.
But rewind it back, after Vanderbilt came, I had USF, Old Dominion, and then
Right.
going into my junior year, Georgia Tech ended up getting on the radar. Um, it wasn't my grades. All I heard really from the coaches was you didn't show interest. Obviously, growing up with four other siblings, my stepdad being overseas, my mom grinding, working two jobs, stuff like that.
Mhm.
As far as getting, to like the little school events and all that stuff that they invite you start into and everything, that was just something new for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the whole recruiting process, I didn't know much about. My parents didn't know much about. It was definitely new to us, and from what my coach was telling me, hey, just make sure you kind of keep it on the down low. Don't really say too much, this and that. you don't want to commit too early and all that. And that was really about it. It's definitely completely new to us. So going into my senior year, we only went 5-on-5. So like the exposure wasn't there. Colleges weren't really coming. Um, and yeah, I don't know how, I don't know why. I just ended up losing, those offers. Obviously, I know Vanderbilt's situation, but yeah, it just happened. And then I want to say halfway throughout my baseball season, I ended up getting a call from Coach Dino Waits. Um, with the help of obviously Coach Heron and talking with Tyson Heron. He was, one of the quarterbacks that I played with growing up. They ended up giving me the opportunity going up there, talking with Ken Sparks and um yeah, man, it's just been a journey. I get to the Nike, they had some type of NFTC camp. I get MVP of the whole camp. I end up getting my invite to the opening. Never sent my ticket. Right? Same thing. I ended up going to another camp. They were collabing for the Under Armour All American game. Whoever got MVP at that camp supposed to, be in the game. Same thing. Never received that. Then going into my senior year, again, offers just going off the table, nothing going on. We had the ACT and SAT and stuff like that. My grades were always good. I think I super scored a 19 or 20. So, I mean, I could have been one thing, but at the same time, I don't think so. Fast forward to college, uh, obviously I ended up going D2, made the most of it. Like you said, I'm there for a reason. Things happen for a reason. And that's just how it happened. So I ended up, what, I think we had 20 or more running backs in that room, right?
Yeah.
Going into my freshman year. It's a Revere offense, so you got two backs on the field at the same time. But we had 20 or more, right?
Yeah.
Halfway throughout the season, I found my way on the bus as far, well, I guess in the beginning, special teams was a key. Finding your way on the bus, you don't want to be back in the dorms, you don't want, you know what I mean? Again, just making the most of the opportunity. This is what God presented. Here we go, let's do it. You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah.
so with that, I guess kind of fast forward, sophomore year, um, ended up, rushing over, I think I had over 1,000 that
So
year.
I wrote
Uh,
down your notes if you don't mind me adding it
mhm.
in.
Yeah, yeah, go on, no,
Hold up
please,
really.
thing.
How about end of your career at Carson, you finished top 3 half the time with over 4,000 yards. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
do you happen to know if you're still top 3 or has somebody else climbed in or
Uh, I honestly don't know. That's what they
hopefully
say.
not.
Records are meant to be broken. That's what they say. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, we shall see, which is crazy part because now, like the year after, well, I guess COVID happened, but seeing how the running backs were getting fed and they changed stuff from the Veer offense and all that stuff. My senior year, I was probably averaging maybe 4 to 7 carries until it started picking up. Okay, like we gotta feed this guy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because that's why my yards per carry was so high and everything. Same thing. Obviously knowing I'm barely gonna touch it, so I gotta make the most of it at the end of the day. So there was some one point, and I think 3 to 4 games,
mhm,
I was averaging like 15.2 yards per carry, 150 some yards a
yeah,
game in like a 3 to 4 game stretch. Only because I knew like, okay, if you're not really touching the ball that much, so you got to make the most of it. You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
But
Because,
uh,
quote me if I'm wrong, but you're a 5'8" speedy and small guy, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
Mm.
they say. I,
Yeah.
I like to say I'm kind of all around, man, all around. You can put me at slot if you want to.
Mhm.
I also have a lot of power behind me. I'm a 600-pound squatter. I
Yeah, oh,
bench
wow.
over 400 pounds. I
Yeah,
bench over 400 pounds. I'm moving good. You know what I mean? So you can put power behind that, speed. Only thing from college you can say, oh well, he had his times where he didn't finish his runs. but I also had times where I did. I'm breaking for 70 and taking it all the way to the house. You know what I'm saying? So
But you
it's
know what?
like,
Well, critics will always have something to say, you know.
for sure, and that's fine. I criticize myself as well. Obviously, I know, like, man, like this is what they're looking for. This is what you need to do. Obviously, if I don't do it, then yes, I'm not satisfied. It's always something to be done, always something to work on. But
For sure.
at the same time, if you can play ball and the numbers say that and the film says that,
Yeah,
like, come on, why not? Why not take a chance? You know?
for sure. So I want to talk about after you graduated in 2019, right?
Hmm.
And then COVID came shortly after. When COVID hit, were you on a team at the moment, or what was your like mind thinking when COVID hit and the road kind of shut down?
Right. When COVID actually hit when they shut everything down, it was like the week before I was supposed to have my pro day.
Mm.
With the agent that I had during that time, he was telling me, the Bills are interested, the Ravens were interested, and I know Seattle came out there to practice,
Yeah.
and there was one more team that was mentioned. I want to say the Chargers, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Um, but again, no pro day. I'm at home watching the draft, and all the guys they end up picking up had a pro day, especially all the running backs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, again, another situation of life.
Mhm.
Throwing more and more obstacles in the way. You know what I'm saying? So with COVID shutting everything down, I feel like my agent at the time wasn't necessarily, communicating too much. Obviously, I know a lot wasn't really in their hands, but at the same time, like, I feel like it was also things that we could have been working on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, man, it's just frustrating. So for those 3 years, I'm training in hopes for something to happen. You know what I mean? So I'm not taking any days off except for probably Sunday. I'm working two jobs. I'm training kids. I'm doing everything. Actually, I actually finished my master's degree. I want to say 2021. So during that time, I was able to finish my master's degree, still working, still grinding, still training, all that. And then finally, I reached out to, I call him my cousin. That's like family, but DJ Dallas,
Oh,
Eloy was
running
his,
back, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So ended up reaching out to him, and he put me on Eloy. That's like another, family member and everything.
Mhm.
And they ended up getting me into the Hub football camp. So the Hub football camp, you're only there if teams want you there.
Yeah.
So out of like, I think mentioned like 500 people before, 500 people signed up for it. Out of those people, I think it was like 40 or 50 people there.
Yeah.
Right. So you're only there if teams want you there.
Yeah.
Um, Mind you, I'm talking to all these guys. They played in the Control League, CFL. They had some type of like NFL thing going. I forgot what the league was called, but it was
Mini
like, oh,
camps or OTAs.
yeah, mini camp, OTAs, but it was something else. I forgot what it was, but something that was going on that the NFL was like tied with. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But so I'm there. Drill start going on. We get a little break. Guys ask me like, "Who you play for? Like, what teams?" This and I was like, "Bro, I haven't got picked up by any team. I haven't heard from any team. Like my last time playing was 2019 when I graduated, and I've been training for 3 years." I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
damn!" Like surprised, shocked, and everything, right? So boom, we get into your one on ones with the blocking situation, going through drills. They put you in like routes, run on ones, all that stuff. Um, we even got like a half line going where you got the running back, two receivers, quarterback going up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, and I feel like I did what I had to do. After that, I ended up talking with the 49ers, the Chargers were there, and the Saints. And I was like, hands down, you're the best running back out here. But I mean, thing is, you haven't played in 3 years. In my
Yeah.
mind, I'm just thinking, why not take a chance if,
For
my
sure.
body's not beat up, I'm in the best shape of my life. Like, why not take a chance? You know what I mean? But again, that's my life,
Mhm.
right? You can sit here and tell me to my face, like, hands down, you're the best running back out here. So Why not take a shot? But
for
again,
sure.
gotta have faith. Gotta have faith. Gotta walk by faith, right? That's why I
Mhm.
created the organization. Walk by faith.
Uh,
So
wanna talk about your organization more?
yeah. So walk by faith is it's like walk X faith. A lot of people say either walk X faith or walk in faith, but it's walk by faith. I started the organization actually after I tore my ACL in college. It's just kind of like a pedestal to say fuel my fire, trust the process, and it just turned into something much bigger. Something to kind of hold myself accountable because I didn't want to fall into that darkness. Just my first major injury that kind of kept me out from playing, and obviously, AP ended up having the same injury, so that also kind of helped fuel my fire. Looking at him and seeing how fast he got back, that was the main goal. So uh, obviously I wasn't walking.
Yeah,
I was on crutches. I was non-weight bearing for a month and a half, and it's just the little things in life that you take for granted that means so much. So that's another reason why I kind of started like walk by faith. And when I finally was able to walk, put some weight down on my leg, it just opened my eyes to things because it's like you got people out here that can't walk permanently and sacrifice. Like today's Memorial Day, you have those that sacrifice, go
mhm,
overseas, stuff like that. They come back missing limbs and everything. Again, even just to go, you're still walking by faith. You get what I'm saying? Regardless of, the sacrifice that you're making, you're walking by faith, believing that, you're gonna come back no matter what.
mhm. And
Uh
on Memorial Day, because obviously today we're filming on Memorial Day, I just want to shout out
yeah.
your stepdad for his service and his time, and
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah,
No, I
continue.
appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I created an organization. Obviously understanding that not everyone, or my inspiration with this also, I ended up losing my brother to gun violence, and I lost one of my good friends in college to gun violence. So again,
I'm
like
sorry
the
to hear that.
pieces kind of, I appreciate them, but like the pieces, it also like it's deeper than you get what I'm saying, and just walk by faith. It's the storyline behind it. So with that, I created a logo. It's like three or four footprints that are put together, creating a W. It's a lot that you can take from it. Again, it's multiple stories behind it, but it's intertwined with my feet and my nephew's feet as his personal guardian, but also like the love and strength that your family or friends, your loved ones, can show you or give you during those tough times and stuff like that. But that's
For
really
sure.
why I created that. And then it just allowed me to reach out to so many people that I never thought I could. Obviously I wasn't the only one going through something in life. My situation might have been different, but I was still able to resonate with a lot of people, and they started, reaching out and, hey, can you put out, one of these quotes? This is what's going on, and it just kind of, you know, blossom from there, I guess.
For sure. Then, back to football a little bit. So you went to all these
Mm.
camps and workouts. When did what indoor football league get
Yeah,
in contact with you? Because didn't you go to one team and then you landed in Vegas after, right?
yeah. Coach Mose ended up calling me, or messaging me, seeing if I wanted to play. And I'm talking to my boy in Tennessee, who I used to train with, Darius Khan, talking to him, and I'm just like, man, I don't know about this indoor stuff. It ain't really, my thing. I know I can play outside, right? So
Yeah,
he was like, why not take a chance? Again, this is after, losing my brother and stuff. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's see what it brings. I go there, show them since they said, okay, well, you haven't played in 3 years. So let me show them that, okay, he's still got it pretty much,
yeah,
right? So ended up getting to Iowa. I played for the Iowa Born Stormers for 2 years. My first year, I actually first game, right? Coming back, first game, tear my MCL. Lineman ended up doing some extra stuff. I tried to stay up again, playing on that turf, way different from outside. This is the old
Yeah.
school indoor turf where you can wear shoes, probably flip flops if you wanted to, and still have some grip on it if you want it, right? But again, the D line was just doing some extra stuff. I wasn't trying to go down, and then he ended up, falling on my knee at a crazy angle, and found out, that happened. So I missed, I believe three or 4 weeks, right? But
Oof.
then we had a bye week, so again, uh, coming back off that bye week, the production started happening at the end of the year. I ended up making first team all rookie, right? So
Good for
that's
you.
year one.
Yeah.
Second year, second year in Iowa, I'm thinking, might as well run it back. We got a great team. Couple people, well, a lot of people actually didn't come back, but second year we still had a great team, right? I put up better numbers my second year. Uh, I think I missed maybe 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
Better numbers my second year, but we only won 2 games, I believe. So as far as like the recognition and all that stuff, it's hard,
Yeah.
especially being on the losing team. It's not, you know what I mean? It doesn't
For
work
sure.
that way. So I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, well, this isn't college. I don't owe any loyalty to anybody. And I mean,
Yeah.
looking at it, I could have said the same thing for college, just because of some situations that happened. I believe I should have bet on myself, and especially looking back at it now, after tearing my ACL and coming back in what 4.5 months, cleared in 5,
I was gonna say
and
that's
and
crazy
still
recovery time. That's like,
right. So I was clear. So that's why I ended up getting the Mayo Clinic Comeback Player of the Year award for that.
yeah,
And still put up, I believe, 1,200 yards. After coming back, put up 1,200 yards. So I was just thinking, this isn't college. I don't owe anybody any loyalty. I'm grateful for the opportunity and all that stuff. But at the same time, I have to bet on me. This is a business now, right?
yeah.
And just to clear it up for a lot of people, the IFL is not semi-pro. Semi-pro is where you have to pay to play. This is professional football. All
Mhm.
right. So we get paid and all that stuff, right? So boom. Because a lot of people come out to me, oh, what's that, semi-pro? And I'm like, it's a big
Pro.
difference. I'm
Yeah,
not
pro.
just I'm not just waking up out the couch. Even though you do have some guys that are that talented that could just wake up and come do it. Because Vegas, at that time, they had the Vipers for the XFL. Obviously, they got the Raiders out here. So that's where my mind was. Like, I need more eyes. I need a bigger stage, more exposure,
Mhm.
right? Iowa, great place, but at the same time, it was really nothing out there. They got the colleges, yes, but there's nothing there to help me get to where I want to be. So after my last year there, I talked with coach, tried to see what was going on, obviously, because it gets old, picking up and going and starting over all over the place, and that was just something that I didn't want to do. But things just didn't work out. I was like, okay, well, you know, ended up talking with Coach Davis, and I got up here. Again, my first year, first game, crazy like heel injury. Foot ended up getting stuck in the turf. I
Right.
don't know how that happened. Missed a few games from there. Um, and then ended up coming back, getting on a roll, right? I don't know why. Midway throughout the season, um, linebacker coming up the middle, chop block, make them flip, and next thing you know, I just feel like some type of ache
Yeah.
in my arm. So I'm just like, this feels off. I just need to get it looked at. But I'll be good to go. Mind you, we're
Mhm.
towards like the end of the game. I'm like, hey, I need one on kickoff real quick. But other than that, I'll be good. So I go back. Um, Trev starts doing these tests and everything. I'm fighting against him. He's fighting against me, fighting against him. It's like, I mean, everything looks good. It's stable. Boom, you're good. I go to
Yeah.
put on my helmet, and my arm just like I don't know. I don't know what it was, but my arm just didn't allow me to do it. And I'm just like, hey, like, we gotta get looked at. So we got X-rays. Next thing you know, found out I broke my ulna in my forearm right here.
Yeah.
Right. So again, that's life. This
Mhm.
is my life. Right. So another obstacle, another story for adversity, overcoming everything. It's like, damn, like I can't catch a break, right?
Yeah,
So, um, ended up getting the surgery. They put a bar on like I think eight screws maybe, right, going down my arm. At first, we tried to get it cast because we thought it was just going to heal back together. That
yeah,
wasted time. But ended up having to have the surgery, put a bar on there, the little plate with screws, and came back the playoff game. Came back the first game for
right.
playoff. Same thing, right? Boom. I think I had two or three. I don't know how many yards, but two or three, and we
Just doing your
lose. I'm like,
thing. Yeah,
right, right. Coming by, playing my role, being an impact, just being me at the end of the day. Like I'm not this selfish guy, team player, and that's probably why I get taken advantage of or whatever, just because of who I am as far as, just sitting back and doing what I have to do. I'm a person that you don't have to worry about. I show up to work, I have no excuses. And I'm just whatever you need, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
for
And
sure.
that's probably why people feel like they can just, okay, well, if I can get over him, then that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like I'm so talented, like what's going on? I still got it in the back of my head. I got it in my pocket, like, okay, I peep game. I'm far from dumb, but just understand, like I'm a businessman at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, uh, but that happened, ended up losing like the last few seconds of the game. And we all talked about it. And it was just like, well, we know we got the injury bug at the end of the year,
yeah,
right? So, so what's the plan? We all talked about it, added a few key pieces and everything, and that was history. Didn't
yeah,
didn't
for
miss one
sure.
game last year. Didn't miss one game. Uh, man, and got the role on kickoff return. Made the most of that. Again, the opportunity presented itself, right? So why not? Why not show what you can do? Ended up getting special
Yeah,
teams player of the year. Got first all IFL first team for kickoff return and running back. And special
mhm.
teams player of the year. I don't think that's ever happened in the IFL. If not, it's been tied or something. Right.
Good
But I
for you,
don't think
bro.
that's ever happened in the IFL. I appreciate you. And then the icing on the cake. Finally got my first ring. Right.
Yeah,
So, man, and to go from there, what I thought was even, more icing on the cake. I'm getting calls from my agent now, is telling me about BC. Is like, yeah, they want you. But which I thought they wanted me because they were in playoffs at the same time,
yeah,
right? And I thought they wanted me to come up after we were done. So I was supposed to leave in like probably give myself a week.
yeah,
But I've been training since like September thinking I was gonna leave, but that didn't happen, which again is what it is. But
mhm,
so they sent me a contract to sign for camp, signed the contract. And then by the time camp came, ended up getting a call. I knew something was up. As soon as I
yeah,
got like the little text, hey, call me when you can on a Sunday. And this was, mind you, like maybe a week, a couple days before I was supposed to leave.
yeah,
You know, give me a call when you can. It's just like, hey, we end up drafting a few guys, this and that. Mind you, you got to have 80% Canadians on the football team, which is what I
yeah,
heard.
yeah.
So I don't know if they overdrafted or something like that. But we're gonna release you. Pretty much, just stay ready. And we'll give you. You'll be the first call or whatever if we need you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a certain ratio where it's gotta be like I forget exactly, but you gotta carry a certain amount of Canadians and then at least one global player, so like anywhere not North
Bet.
America. Yeah. Um,
Right.
but no, that's like how I found out about you in a way. I was scrolling
Mm-hmm.
Instagram one night and I saw a post where you mentioned your letter you got from BC, right? Your
Yeah.
termination, whatever you want to call it. So I'm like, and then I read on your
Mm-hmm.
story and I'm like, this is really cool story, you know? So I liked the post because it's
No,
3 a.m.
appreciate
I'm
it.
not gonna DM somebody at 3 a.m., you know? So when next morning, that's when I
Right.
DM'd you and I'm like, hey dude, like the story. Here's who I've talked to, you know. Do you wanna
Right.
come up here? And we made it work.
No, for sure. No, I appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And it's like in a way that that's the calling. That's why I go through what I'm going through, I guess, and like to be able to share because again, like I'm not the only one. It could be the same thing with you as far as, trying to get in with say a bigger broadcast or podcast or whatever your goal is to do in life. You get what I'm saying? It could be the same thing just on your end, just different.
Yeah,
So
no,
you
for sure.
may feel like, okay, well, I can relate to this guy, even though it's football. But what I'm chasing, what I'm trying to do, is always obstacles that I'm having to face as well. So again, walk by faith. That's the biggest part that I can tell you. My community, and that's the beautiful part behind that. Like even putting it up there or after finding out, because I train kids, right?
Yeah.
So with the bow nose development and all that stuff that's going on, um, everyone knew that I was supposed to be leaving because I was putting it out there. I had to put this on pause, understand like I'm about to leave May 5th. So, the week before I want to make sure I'm focused on getting the playbook because that's whenever we were supposed to get it, like a week before, dialing in on the playbook, spending time with my family before I leave and all that stuff. And, I understood. But, you know, that situation happened. And just like you were saying, what's meant to be this will be for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So God has a bigger plan at the end of the day, and that's all I heard from, my support, my community and everything behind me. So again, man, pretty much you're a part of it now. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you reaching out and just understand in life it'll be the same for you. Whatever's for you will be for you, bro. And
Yeah.
just keep
No,
going,
for
keep
sure.
chasing.
And you're like one of
Uh,
the coolest dudes I met because I'll be honest, I sent you one message on Instagram. You shoot me your number, like, here, text me here. Um, and then,
Well,
honestly, you answered all my questions. Bo, thank you for coming on today, and thank you for giving me a chance. And thank you just for coming on and explaining your story more and being open about it. I appreciate it a
yes.
lot, and I'm sure it's not easy for you. And yeah, thank you. I hope you just have a great rest of your day, and I wish you best of luck in your journey.
Man, no doubt, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Appreciate you having me and right back to you. I got a few more. Let me do a few more shout outs. Big shout out to Residency. Big shout out to Kumanidad. Big shout out to Fat Sal's. Big shout out to Uncle Zach. Um, and again, like my support group behind me. I appreciate the whole Bo Knows family, my family, my son. And big shout out to you, Harlan. I appreciate you for this
right,
opportunity,
brother.
man.